Just run me through that.
I think just sometimes she gets excited when we're around other people or other dogs in like tight spaces, so like somebody's coming down even more. So it'll be like, yeah, she'll kind of have her chest out more and her ears up, and I think she's just more alert.
How was everything after, like, when last time I saw you guys? How's the inside been and your walks?
She's been much better on her walks around other dogs.
Awesome.
We can see the improvement, so yeah, thank you, that helped a lot.
Oh yeah. And then, did that have any effect in the building at all, you think, or no?
I think she's been okay in the building. This morning when we were walking her, she kind of just got excited when we walked by our neighbor. She just kind of breathed heavy, so we had to tap her there. But I don't know. I would say she's probably maybe about the same. I think in the building. I don't know if you've had any.
Yeah, maybe a little better, but I think it's still.
Yeah, definitely better around dogs.
Yeah, definitely better around dogs. And I think we just like, I wasn't sure at first if I should probably tap her when she does that with people too, like if she gets more alert. So like
Yeah.
the
For
same
any,
behavior she shows with dogs.
it's not what she's alert about. It's just the alertness. Like it's kind of like it's not here, not the right time, not now. Pull like calm down. Like it can be with sounds or it can be like people, objects, anything that just quick alertness is like don't worry about it, tap. And then when you tap for that excitement for that person, what happened after you tapped?
I mean, we were walking by her, so she kind of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go ahead and, so it's just when you walk around people in the building, she's different, right?
She sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it's no thing, but sometimes she gets excited.
Okay. So what did you want to like cover today?
Maybe like we can start just like showing you kind of our route out of here, and then maybe discuss some scenarios that have come up just along the way, and like how we best be able to handle it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and like positioning her on the elevator, like how you recommend we handle her there.
Okay.
Just position wise and stuff to be best for her.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think you're right, just that would be most helpful, taking
The
her path
routine,
in,
the
and then
routine,
like you can do like.
For sure. All right, so we'll go ahead and start from the top, and then we'll work our way. Let's say if you were just gonna go outside, you know.
Okay.
So, just go ahead and lead the way.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Go left. Oh,
Go ahead.
All right.
Hi, buddy. Oh, good.
So fine and all that.
If she, at the end, she resolved to her nose, like, what's going on? Instead of just like you know, just like kind of like, there's a lot going on, but she handled that very well.
Okay.
Did you have any questions about what just happened right now?
No, I think that makes sense. So she was more sniffing, not like
Yeah.
ears up and alert. So that's.
And if it makes you feel better, like, you probably, if you don't know how she's gonna react to like, cause that bite came in, I don't know if you guys ever encountered a bite in the air or whatever, but if you're like, I wanna know how she's gonna react, grab closer to the leash to her collar, but you don't need to hold her back, like, don't make tension, just like, if there's gonna be tension, it's gonna be from her. So just get ready so that if she were to lunge, she wouldn't have all that leash to go. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. So I would hold her like right there, but keep it loose.
Yes, just to be ready in case.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and lead the way.
Let me get it.
How's she with the weather change?
Oh, she's fine. She actually looks like So this area can be a little bit tricky because people come in here, then you also have people coming up the elevator.
Oh yeah, left and right.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can get crowded.
So this is usually where we put her in the elevator. I try to get her to sit kind of there, and then she slips on the stuff, so I usually
Oh, okay.
stop her from slipping my foot there.
that's probably gonna be your easiest thing, or maybe so she doesn't have that forwardness, you can reposition her to like face, so it'd be like you here and then she's facing this way,
Okay.
you know, so like, oh shit. Almost, so here, go ahead and pull her, okay, go for it.
We're going to start from the... So I guess this is where we start.
And then how is she like if you're getting ready to exit and like, you know, with her, how is she excited or is she just very passive?
Oh, she's very excited. She'll circle around us and want to go.
And then when you come out, is she still excited?
She can be sometimes. I
Yeah.
think she's a little more like on edge. when
Yeah,
we
yeah,
exit.
So if that happens, do that correctional turn just abruptly, and then that will settle her excitement and just it'll just help her concentrate. Like, oh, okay, I have to calm down.
Okay.
Or you can just give one tap and then see what she does, and then she might just sit, and then once you start moving, you'll see a more calm Poe. But
So like when we're leaving the door, I would like do right here, do like the correctional.
yeah, if you
180,
feel like
and
she's a little too amped up for
Yeah.
you know going outside, do that correctional turn to correct her, you know, the behavior. Even if she's fine with the heel, like remember at the park when she was amped up, but she was fine with the heel. I still did correctional turn, and then there was like she was way more calm, very passive. So I would do that if you see her getting excited, but if she's just like this is very passive, like don't worry about it. But I don't know. It's hard for her. It's hard to read her because she's always, you know, very like, you know, she's Poe. So, but do you have any other questions?
No, I think that's it. So, okay, so if she comes out and she's really excited, we'll just do a correctional turn maybe in the hallway or at the front, like before.
You can
we
do it
get
right
out.
here. Perfect.
Right
Yeah,
here?
right here. And then if to also help you with that, sometime like one time I was helping a woman, with her. She was training with Jessie, and then she was having trouble walks at her neighborhood, and then I saw her exit the gate, and the dog's just foraging in through the gate, and she's just like this, and then she gets him, but he's already that foraging through the gate, like going through thresholds. You want to control that. So like, let's say you're about to exit your apartment, but she's so excited she just goes. That's
Okay.
already a no-no. I would tap her, tap, bring her back, put her in a sit, and then I walk out first and bring her with.
Okay, so
That's
we'll
very
see that
helpful
when
because we
go
have a
through the-
series of
yeah.
doors that we have to go through to get in and out. So
And
that's
she
very
does
helpful.
that, yeah. But I think it's because the doors close quick and then they've caught her tail a couple of times.
Oh.
So she's
So
like
she,
scared of the
like-
door.
Gets through it. So
Yeah, go ahead and just correct that. Like, are you saying like when the door closes, she kind of just like freaks out and like turns and everything?
Yeah, you'll see. She does it
Yeah.
all the time. You see
Yeah.
when we go through the doors.
It's not like.
She just wants to
picks
get
up
through
a
the
little
doorway
speed.
quickly so her tail doesn't get caught, basically.
Yeah. But the threshold thing, does that make sense?
That does make sense.
So just
So,
like, you know.
Even like with our front door.
Yes, from the beginning, because that's where it starts. So let's say she's excited and, you know, she bursts out the door. She's already at a 1 or a 2. And then she's seeing people and, you know, let's say you're not tapping her. And she's like, oh man, there's a lot of people, a lot of activity. She's building up. And then you come outside and she's already at a 5. So then whenever you go for a walk, she's already up there. So then there's a potential of like a blow up, or like something like that's out of the order, and like, oh, like that was just a squirrel. Why did you? But because it started from here, you know, because it's building, and then she has to let it out somehow, you know. So if you start here, if you make it very strict, you don't exit until I go first, and then you do the correctional turn to straighten her out. You probably won't even see anything for the day, you know.
Okay.
So one thing that would be great if we could just like do a walk from our out of our door to out of the building, like just me do one and maybe Jackie do one, and then like you tell us
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Don't
went
do
right,
that,
what went
or-
wrong,
Yeah.
how to like keep an eye on Poe.
For
So,
sure.
Do you wanna
Oh yeah.
I'll be out here.
free? Deal.
Perfect. So another thing that could help Poe see that there's like a threshold to everything is stop at the door and then we go instead of just walking through it, because then she's always seeing the walking through instead of just stopping. Because at the facility, we do that when we're going outside for a potty break, because we're going outside and we're on a sidewalk, so we don't know who's going to be coming. So we stop and we put the dog in a stay. We step out and then we look, because there's a lot of dogs on the block, so we don't know. So we approach and then we say break, and then she can go to potty or whatever.
Okay.
That's helpful. Okay, so even like when we're going into the elevator, it should be. Yeah, that's helpful too, because sometimes.
And then forward. You're good. So forward, and then give her a tap, tap, pull her, tap, good. And then more forward, tap, 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 good. Keep that pressure on, tap, 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 almost there, tap, tap, tap. So what's our number?
34.
Ears pop. So I'm gonna try to fix this. Go to 40. You're good. And then, so keep that leash pressure. And then tap, 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 almost tap, 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 tap. What's our number?
40.
Go to 45. Tap, tap, good. Now move forward here. Good. So right here, I mean, you can get her a little closer if you want. She can't really like if someone walked in, she would have to go out here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to corner her more and someone were to go back here, this is a more like tense spot for her because it's behind her.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you'll have like her head will not be able to turn because of your body, you know? So, but the way you had before was like, right here, it's like, you have, because she's a Great Dane too, so she has like a lot of leeway right here, versus, unless you want to really like press her up against here so she can't like, move this way. But this is easier because then people are also like, oh, you're blocking your dog from me, like they kind of get a hint, you know? Is this the right floor?
Yeah, exactly.
But that tapping and the leash pressure was just to get her to move. Because she's like, I don't want to move. But then if you keep the pressure on, then she's like, she'll just flush down, just like give into that.
Gotcha.
Go for it.
She actually isn't.
She normally doesn't sit there.
Yeah?
She normally kind of goes through the.
So was all that normal, or are there certain things that she would have done that she didn't do today?
I think she would have raced through the door faster. That's kind of what she normally does. Like
Okay.
she rarely sits before the door like that.
And do you see the same thing that she's talking about? Okay. So, like I said, once we address something in the beginning, like maybe it was like maybe in that elevator that addressed something like, okay, I gotta really follow, and like, it's pressure. So it's almost like correcting like her resistance, kind of, so that she's just more like in tune with you, if that makes sense. If you ever open the door and then she kind of just flushes out, like I would correct that, because then that's too much energy. It's too much like there's no manners in that. You know what I mean? And then it's also risky because you don't know who's going to be right there, right?
Yeah.
So if that happens, do that. It's similar to the elevator where we were tapping and pressure. Do that same thing. Bring her back here. Put her into the sit. Wait a moment, and then we go.
Okay.
Always.
So,
But
it's tapped until she comes back.
yes, but you're going to be using the leash pressure to help guide her. Because I didn't have him drag her, There was
okay.
pressure and then matching with the tap. Because we don't want to get physical, too much physical. We want the e-collar to do all the work for us. So like we were at, what was our number before? It was like 30. Yeah. that wasn't enough for her to get her to move. Once we kept, so it's like tap, 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 nothing, bump at 5, tap, 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 nothing, bump at 5, and then we got the, okay, fine. And then she finally gave into it and moved closer to him, and to the wall as well.
Makes sense.
Do you have any other questions? Most likely, if you do the routine, she's probably gonna do the same exact thing. Well, unless, you know, we'll still do it just so I can see if anything changes, since it is a different handler. But other than that, the only thing would be, you know, because she was very behind you, so that was good with the thresholds. So she didn't have, like, she wasn't here, but she kind of like knew, like, okay, just get away, like, you know, give him space. So that was good as well if you don't want to do the stopping before the threshold and having her sit and then you proceed, just to control her. It's like impulse control kind of, you know?
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So if we like open the door and there's like another dog there, should we keep her out of the building? I guess I don't know if it's best to just sort of make her stay and heel and move out of the way, or do you think we should try to, you know, practice walking her by?
Yeah,
other
it's...
dogs? Because sometimes they'll like bark at her and I just don't want to initiate anything, you know?
Yeah. If you open a door and there's a dog right there, I would either try turning, like just, so if I open the door and there's a dog, I would like use my right knee to go around and then just like pull her back and then let the person go. Because that's like your fastest thing. Or you can just go like, because if you're opening the door, you can just go like this and just pull her and hold her here, then let them pass. It's just gonna make it easier for you. Because if you try going, because you have to think about like who's this dog? Like what is this dog capable of? Or like, you know, because you know, dogs are, we don't know what they're gonna do. So if you try to go in there, Poe might be fine. She might like be perfect, but we don't know what this other dog is about, or if the owner has control at all. So we just want to give them space. So that's what I would try to do, because like that's just my main concern, the other dog. I'm not worried about Poe because I know she's gonna do fine. I have a feeling. And then my dog, like I know she's gonna do fine, but I just don't know who that dog is. That's the only problem. So I give them space and let them, you know, move along, and then I continue on my way.
Okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
And that'd be same for in the elevator, like if we come down to floor 1 and there's dogs there.
in the way, which can happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Running around the elevator.
She did fine when we came out there.
Sometimes, like, taking her out, there's like a dog there, she'll get like kind of excited and like
It's because like
worked out.
it's because she was already like at that one up there.
So we need, okay, so that's where you start to.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the reason why, like, maybe she might had a little panic. Let's say because when there's a lot of people coming out, how does she act? She acts like very tense, or
Sometimes.
I mean, sometimes she's like there when we came out and there were a few people in the lobby and she just ignores them. But,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes she'll make like a breathing loud and
yeah, you can just correct that.
Correct that, yeah.
Correct because like I've never seen hackles on her, like when her first stands up in the back. Like we can correct that. Let's say like she's walking, like if we had a dog walking by another dog and their fur starts standing up, we give a few taps and then the fur would go down. So we can correct like little things like that. So you can definitely correct her reacting, because that is some sort of build-up, because then after that becomes the bark or the lunge. So if you correct that, then you won't have to worry about her barking or lunging. And then again, like it starts from the moment you leash her up. Like how is her energy? What are her goals, or what are her, where's she at? And if you cap it right there, like, no, you don't exit the house like this. She's like, okay. And then she's just very like passive and just very very submissive in a good way, in the way where she just accepts things. Like if they're passing by, I just accept it, whatever, versus starting at that number 1 and then she's already at a 2 and then she's seeing people. She's more likely to just react in the huffing and like the breathing way.
And then can you, like, let's say before every 2 weeks we go on to do a correctional turn, can you start doing that too much, or if you start to expect it and it doesn't work anymore? Or?
Okay, I see what you're saying. So if you do a correctional turn and she is still amped up, just increase the number.
Okay.
Same thing if she's like because a lot of people will do the training with Jessie, and then like 3 weeks into the session, they're like, hey, like the dog is like, you know, correcting itself doing this, but I tap and like she'll go back, but then she's still, you know what I mean? And then Jessie's just like, you know, just raise the number. And then the next week they come, they're like, wow, like it was like we were back at that first week when they were first learning. It's like it's perfect now. So it's just a number. Okay. If you notice, you know, let's say for example she's foraging, you do a correctional turn, so it's the tap and turn, and she's still foraging, bump it 5. So and then like you want the turns to go down lower and lower and lower. You know, if you're constantly turning, then it's like, all right, something's wrong. Then just turn the number up. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. I have one more question.
Oh yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Okay, so I think you already answered this, but like for example, if we're coming off the elevator and there's not enough room to do a correctional turn, and we see like, oh, there's a big group of people, she's like getting a little excited. Would I just do a correctional tap instead of like if there's not enough room to turn while we're getting off the elevator? Could I just, you know, if I see her getting amped up, would I just, you know, tap her there even if she's not making noise or
If you see something, tap it. If you don't like, anything you disagree with, poke. For, you know, anything. If you don't like it, tap. So then, how that would look is if I come out and then, so let's say the door opens and then she's sitting, right? And then a lot of people show up and she's like, whoa, and then she stands up, tap for the sit, and then go, because that might be like, okay, you know. If she's sitting and then you see her like this, and then you walk and then she's kind of like really panicky, then tap. So she's like, okay, because because that tap is for the behavior rising, the stress rising up, because we're tapping for the stress, and then that like looking at everything is like tap, don't look at that, because she already knows. Remember we saw a dog, we tapped, she just looked away immediately. So she's already aware of you know what the e-collar means and everything in the correctional way. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Alright. Want to give it another try this time you walk with her?
Wait, are you gonna walk around or do you want? I'll just walk around.
Are there a lot of dogs in the building?
Yeah, there are actually. Probably at least 20 or 30. Maybe 20.
Oh wow. Any other Danes?
There's one.
Oh wow. Thank you.
And like here, obviously you can see that, you know, these double doors, there could be somebody here, there could be somebody there.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
So if you want, for example, let's say like you open this door, right? She knows stay.
Yeah, she knows.
So I would approach the door right here, stay, right here, and then, or like maybe like you open the door, or I'm trying to think. Like so for example, when we go to Menards, or not Menards, Home Depot, they allow dogs, right? If we go in the side aisles, or those smaller aisles, and we're going to go into the bigger aisle, we do, like we approach the aisle, let's say this is the end of the aisle, we do the stay, we pivot out with the right foot, and then look for oncoming traffic. And then we return, and then we go here. If it helps you, because you're not going to know what's around the corner, you know? So that would help you, but it's going to be hard with these doors, you know?
I guess it's hard to hold it open.
Yeah, but then it's also good that because the corner is over the door, instead of just door and then, you know what I mean? No walls.
Wall.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that helps.
And then like here, sometimes I put her on this side of me, so that way.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Even that's fine, you know, because you're right there. And then like if a person comes here with their dog, they're probably gonna have like we don't know what people are gonna do, so they're probably gonna like, oh, it's a cute dog, whatever. And then I would just like cut that off and just like you know, like just block her to help Poe in that situation.
Okay.
And then you can be, you know, tell the person like, hey, like she's very, you know, nervous and timid type of dog, or like maybe just say she's not friendly, and then end of the story there.
Right. Thanks for coming here.
Oh yeah. Good. Tap for the sit. Good. What's our number?
47.
We can go back down to, what was it, 30, 35?
30, yeah.
And then proceed whenever you're ready.
Heel.
Does she always kind of, like, let's say you're going for a walk and you stop, does she always kind of back up that much?
She does usually back up. But
She backs up some.
Yeah. Is that something you
Heel.
kind of want to fix, or is that just like
If you
okay?
think we should, I mean.
No, it's all personal preference, but there is a way to fix it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Do you think, I mean.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It
That's
doesn't.
fine then.
No, it doesn't matter to you. And the sheen. Does that seem like a good spot?
Yeah, that corner's fine. It's better to have her angled out this way.
Oh, left, like.
But you're
towards
fine.
the-
You're fine.
I'll do that on the way back up, so.
Just you in front of her like that is it would help you a lot.
Okay.
And Poe. Whenever you're
Heel.
ready.
So if she just opens the doors alone.
Oh, yeah.
That was fine. Just her, I see her like she gives space and respect when you open the door because she backs up, which is good. Yeah. Then slow to stop whenever you're ready. How did that feel?
It felt better. It felt like she was more in control of getting off the elevator or going through the doors.
Yeah. Do you have any questions like about the?
No, I think I understand now. So if like I would just do a correctional turn if she's like, it's our first walk of the day and she's a little excited.
Oh yeah.
And then when she's going through the doors, if she's
Yeah.
not in that position, tap.
Yeah.
Basically. So
Exactly.
where she was at was good, and if she's not there, then tap.
Are you talking about the elevator, right?
Oh yeah, the elevator or even going through the doors. Or going through the doors. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
she's
if-
not
yeah.
if she's like not where she was at there, then
If you open the door and she just goes by herself, she's one. It's she shouldn't be going like through thresholds, and then two, she broke your heel. You know, heels always stay with me, or walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop on your left leg, like that. That's perfect right there. So that's the other rule she's breaking. So then if she does that, just tap and then leash pressure to guide her. But since she's in the heel, we always do the tap and turn. So if she did that, because I'm also thinking about the door, because you have to hold the door for her to come back. So if you open the door, let's say like this way, and then she goes, I would just.
oh, I see what you're saying because I have to hold the door. So
Yeah.
I see.
Maybe use your foot like this way, so you're holding the door. So it'd be the door, she goes, and then she's already ahead, right? So just use the foot to hold the door, and then just tap, and then use your leash pressure to guide her, and then reapproach.
Oh, okay. So I
And
would
then-
do the turn too,
yeah.
not just.
Yeah. If it's, I'm not sure how, because I didn't see it. I'm not sure how she is regularly with like doors opening, but typically like dogs have like triggers with thresholds. One is, let's say you put her in a sit, right? You reach the door, you put your hand on the door. She's like, oh, some dog, I don't know if it's her, but for example, let's say she's like, oh, she's gonna open it, she's ready. Then I reset, tap the sit. I do it again, and then if she learned that correction, she should sit. And then the twist is the sound, so she might get triggered again and then correct. So it's one step at a time. And then the next one would be like opening the door all the way, she shouldn't go, and then we go, you know? For example, like cars, because we want to go somewhere, and then like you grab the handle, they get up, you reset, you open the door, they get up, it's too much. So like we correct every single like trigger. So the trigger would be the grabbing the door, the opening of the door, and then the sound, basically.
So it's not just going through the door, it's as we're getting ready for the walk. We've got her leashed up, she should be like in heel or in sit until
if that's what you want, yeah. Because the heel would be the best, especially in here, because you want her as close as possible. If she wasn't in the heel and she was meandering, then that's like, Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you keep wondering why she keep going through the doors, like when I'm trying to open it, it's because like take it one step at a time for her, because you might be moving too fast, or like this is for example, because I don't know how she is with like normally with the doors, but overall I thought it was perfect. We didn't see any dogs. What time is it?
Oh, that's true. There was one. Well, you were getting on the elevator. There was one going over there.
Did you want to?
Just ignored it. So.
Yeah. It's the same thing outside when you see a dog, and if you notice something, then correct it. It's good to, if you're approaching the elevator, to switch her on the side, because it's preventive, and you don't want her to be surprised and then this dog. You rather have it human and then dog here. If they're exiting at the elevator right here, yeah. That quick turnaround is good, yeah. Anything else?
That was the main thing, just to have you see the walk and give us advice on the thing we encounter on a daily basis.
We didn't really, the only big thing we encountered was that bike and then the guy walking at the same time. I thought it was a big thing for Poe, a big thing in general.
And I was worried.
Try to trust Poe. Try to just, because I've only known Poe for a little bit, and I've done the training walks with her at the facility, and I know she's good. It's just
and I don't doubt anytime she isn't being good, it's probably how I'm handling her, so it just helps to know how to keep her.
Just relax and
Relax.
Whatever you don't like, use that e-collar there.
Yeah, so
See, all that was perfect.
amazing what a big difference.
But yeah, just relax. Give some slack on your walk, or if something's gonna happen, shorten your leash, but no tension. So you don't give tension to Poe, because let's say you see someone and then you're pulling her back, but she's fine. Then she's like, what's going on? Then she starts getting riled up, because of that tension, too much tension and pressure. So she's confused, what's going, you know what I mean? But yeah, just be more confident. If you don't like someone having their dog come up to you in the elevator or in the building, tell them, hey, she's not friendly, or I know she's friendly, but
Yeah, just to keep them.
or she's in training, or whatever you like to say to have them avoid you. But anything else? If you want, we could do a little walk around the building, and then see how what would happen if if there's dogs in the building, or maybe a group of loud people, how she acts around that, or whatever else would happen in the building. I'm not sure. Yeah, because we still have time.
Well, this street's we usually avoid walking up and down this street just because it's really narrow. So maybe you want to walk this street.
Yeah, whatever you guys wanted to cover today.
Because I know a lot of the areas in the building aren't even dog friendly. So
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the hallways.
Yeah.
Thank you.
traffic wasn't too bad.
No, it was.
Oh, good.
I flew.
Yeah. Amazing how quick you can get some places when it's like
Oh
there's
yeah.
not that much traffic. I'm like, wow, this is really only like
It's
15
crazy.
minutes away.
I live like without traffic from the facility, like a 40 minutes away. So I'm like, do you know, like I'm like really south. I'm like, you ever heard of like Orland Park or
Yeah.
I'm like around that
Oh,
area.
okay, yeah. I'll go grocery shopping near there sometimes.
So like when it's rush hour, it's brutal to get home.
Oh, is it? I bet is it like more than an hour?
It's like an hour and 15 or something.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
But I don't get out of work at rush hour anymore, which is really nice now.
Yeah, it's like it makes such a big difference. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a half hour or an hour.
So this is the ideal in terms of heel, where she's at.
Yes,
Her
yes.
head right at Jackie's.
I like to, I mean, there's other, like, I guess, like points are, like a reference point is like, sometimes if you want, like some people like her shoulder with your leg, or like, personally, I like the collar, so I look at the e-collar with the leg.
Oh, okay.
So if the e-collar ever passes my leg, immediate 180 and tap.
If she ever lags behind, should I tap to pull her up?
Yes.
And is this the same thing where it's just a little pressure on the leash if she's like not catching on?
Yeah, so I think she knows. So if you see her lagging,
Yeah.
give a tap, and then she should just go like, okay, you know.
Oh, okay.
If she's struggling, either speed up or do the leash pressure, like pull her up and then tap. But you okay?
Yeah.
But you're always going to be tapping for the lagging. You tap for the foraging. If she starts to like go left,
That's the
I
thing
tap
too. Okay. So
tap for that. All these things you really want to be strict about, because if you let one thing slide, she's gonna think, oh, I kind of just went over here and peed and mom didn't do anything. Like, what if I forage? What if I want to bark at a dog? What if where are the boundaries now since it got away with this one thing, you know?
Okay.
So it's important to be very strict in everything in black and white.
Trying to walk back on near the park. There's usually more people and dogs on that side. Which might walk by.
So that's good to know too, because I don't do that. I don't think enough.
Yeah.
I'll let her go probably too far to the left.
And then what's your release command?
FRE.
And then can you quickly just show me how that would look? Like, say you wanted to release her.
Yeah, we can
We can do
Yeah.
it in the park.
Oh, you don't have to unleash her. I just wanted to see how it looks. That's all.
Oh, okay. Free.
Good. So sometimes it's fine. Sometimes like owners will go on the heel. They're on the heel, right? And then they go to the grass and they go free, and then they're still moving though. And then the dog goes free. So then they have an issue where if they are approaching something and the dog just starts going for the grass for some reason, and then they're like what's going on? It's because do it step by step. Do the heel, stop, then free.
Okay, so not in. I think I do that
Yeah,
sometimes.
we sometimes definitely do that.
Avoid
So,
the in motion,
that's good
because
to know.
avoid the in motion, because one time Jesse trained a dog and they came back for like our tune up, and when I went on the training walk with him, at every corner there's a patch of grass, he would just go to the grass all the time, like what's going on?
She'll do that sometimes.
That's because
think she
the in motion release break. So
Okay.
she'll approach the grass, have her sit, then free. Then she realizes I only get released in the sitting position.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just to help you guys out with that.
Yeah, that is.
Okay. And then we can continue the walk if you'd like.
Yep.
And her like staying there, she just didn't feel like running around.
You can use a leash to help her just get up from that.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I think she doesn't realize that she's okay to go
Yeah.
and run.
I wonder.
Which is kind of funny.
Sometimes she'll do, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't actually. I don't.
Yeah.
That's not really something that I think needs correction.
Yeah. Another thing that could help is that clear stopping near the grass, free. Use the leash pressure to put her on the grass, so then let her do whatever she wants. You know.
Okay.
Like if you let her off leash, how's she like off leash?
She's good. She's good. She's very good on recall. She'll sometimes run a little bit farther than I want her to go though.
And then how do you let's say she's going too far.
I give her the recall.
Okay. And is that solid for her? Is that good?
Yeah.
Good.
I haven't had an issue with the recall.
I don't think I've ever had.
And then, I don't know how it was trained to her, but in the recall command, she usually just comes back to us, but it's still kind of in like the free mode, where she's not necessarily in heel. Is that typical, or once you give her the recall, should it be right back into heel?
So recall for like our style of recall is if she's over there and I say "Po, come," she'll come and like run to like in this vicinity right here, and then sit.
Okay.
And then if I take a step back, she moves in. If I take a step left, she moves in. She's not allowed to leave my vicinity when I do the recall until I say free. Or if I want him to go into a heel, then I would say heel.
Okay.
It's whatever you like. Like, you know, sometimes owners want the dog to come into like the heel position. So when we're passing recall, it'll be Po, come, and then they'll have a treat. And as she's coming here, and they reward every time she comes here, just to like tell her like, you know, this is the spot you come to.
Okay.
But typically for us, where she's at doesn't matter. We just want her in the vicinity, sitting and not going like running when she wants to.
Okay.
But so for your recall, it's you call her, and then is she still like she'll come, but then she'll just kind of leave, or like what do you?
Like she'll come back to us and then like kind of keep playing, but kind of closer.
Yeah, but closer to us.
Okay, so what you did is kind of like a hey, don't go over there, stick around here kind of thing. Is that what she's doing?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't know. It's very variable. Sometimes she'll come right back to you and like kind of be in heel. Sometimes she'll kind of come back to you and just kind of like be running in a circle around you. So she does kind of a lot of different things. It's not always the same.
Yeah, if Jesse has a lot of videos on YouTube on recall. First, he goes like first teaching it, and then it's like recall part 1, and then when the client comes back for the next week, it's the recall part 2, and then you see everything that's happening. I'd recommend you guys watch those just to like clarify like what or how do we fix certain things. But if you if you want that Po, come here and sit, then it's you cue the recall. But if you want her to like not go that far, you can give her a tap, and then dogs know like, okay, I just can't go here, just come back, you know?
So kind of like a fence, an invisible fence.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions about the recall?
No.
Or anything with when she's off leash or like?
No, I think off leash she's pretty good.
Okay.
She's usually friendly and she hasn't had really any issues off leash. Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
Maybe I should have
What I'm seeing is all fine.
I mean, it's okay that like chooses to.
If you want to just give them space, that's fine. Or if you want to see how she would do it and like all these people, go for it.
You guys can go. You sure? Thank you. Heel.
Perfect. So if you get, so here, go ahead and pull forward and then tap. Good.
Oh, she went right away.
Good. See, because the first time is always going to be the hardest. So he did the hard work, which was the first
Thank
time.
you.
But now since she knows, she will just go right away.
Okay, and this is, she's
Good.
correct here,
Perfect.
and I'll just
Yeah.
kind of keep my body between
Yeah.
her and whoever is.
You don't need to put too much pressure on her. Just
Oh,
just
okay.
like stand close to her. Because if you're too much into her, there might be like a little like why are you like, trying to get away from that pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything, I mean, obviously other than not having, like giving Poe the experience of correcting her or whatever, of just avoiding like those situations, kind of, which was obviously Jacqueline's preference there. Is it bad to do that, or would it be better if we put Poe in those situations? And,
Of like the crowded area,
yeah.
you can put her in those situations so like it's just whatever you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with it, go for it. Just like keep an eye on her, and if she's like this, awesome. If she sees someone like, because the problem is like, what are these people like? Are these people gonna like give me respect, or because those kids, what if they're like, whoa, that's a good dog, and they're like because they're loud and everything. So like, what if they all came to Poe? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when you give space, it's also a signal to them like, oh, they don't want to come here, so I'm not going to go to them. But we don't know what people, people are crazy. They might just still go to you. But if you go there and like if you see someone approaching, like, don't touch my dog, that's easy way you can do. And they don't have you have every right to say that, like, don't touch my dog.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also have confidence she'll be fine in those crowded areas, go for it. It's whatever you guys are comfortable with.
Okay.
It's not gonna it doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't cause anything. It's just
Okay.
Right,
that's
That
good.
would be,
Because
yeah.
definitely I think most, or I don't know, there's a lot of people like our age in here who will see Poe and like just want to get right up in her face and start.
Yeah.
And it's
A lot of
happened more
people
than once where
and
they like
put their faces
That's-
right up in
yeah.
her face and they start petting
Not
her.
good,
And
yeah.
and
it's
I'm
like-
like, it makes me really uneasy.
yeah.
go ahead and just like when you're a little too close, or like I like just to say like my dog's not friendly. My dog's friendly. She loves people,
Uh-huh.
but I just do it for like her sake, because I don't know. What if like she just doesn't like a person? You know what I mean? I don't want to risk it. Them getting bit or whatever. Because I mean, I think at the end of the day, you guys would be liable for that. Because but just if you don't even want to like have that a counter, then just give space.
Yeah.
But other than that, anything else?
No.
Well, I think that's
It's different if you see that. So like, for example, the dog thing, it's different if you see a dog and you avoid it, because then you're not fixing the problem. You want her to walk by a dog and not react. So you want to see a lot of dogs and walk by them, and but obviously be mindful of who the dog is and who the person is. But you want to put her through that experience because she's already if you didn't want to go to those people because she gets too amped up, then you're not going to be fixing the problem if you're avoiding it.
Mm-hmm.
If she gets too amped up, then you would want to like put her in a situation and then like correct anything that needs to be corrected. But if she's fine and you just want to give space, that's not going to hurt anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Anything else?
No,
Like,
I think
like when we're walking her,
I'm gonna put her inside.
I'd be more comfortable going into that than Jackie would be. Does it really matter if I'm the one who's doing the training or if Jackie's the one doing the training? Like, is she still going to behave similarly between the two of us?
So if Jackie's nervous and her and Poe can tell, then she's gonna get nervous. But if you just do it and like no hesitation, then she's just like, okay, we're here, But it won't. It depends on the person. How does the person feel? If you go in confidence, she goes in confidence, then it's like not a big deal for Poe.
Okay.
If you give her a reason to freak out, then she's gonna freak out. It's like when people are first gonna like start e-collar training, and then they're like, here's the e-collar, and then the dog's like, and then the person's like, I know, I'm sorry, and then they're all sad, and then the dog's not gonna like it. Versus, wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? And the e-collar, then we go outside. Then the dog's like, oh yeah, the collar's awesome. Like we get to go outside and I get to free. Versus, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do it, she's not gonna want to do it, type of thing.
Got it.
Okay.
But if it won't like mess anything up, like it's not nothing. You're not going to create anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But anything else?
No, I think that was very
I
helpful.
think this was super helpful.
Is there anything else you want,
Thank
Jackie? Because definitely.
No, I can't think of anything. Maybe it'll come up like
Yeah.
if I
You
go
can
about doing this, and then I'll
send me
see
an
if maybe
email.
I
And be
can-
like, hey, like this happened, and I did this. Was it correct? And then I'll get in touch with you. Then I can also like, send it to Jesse, and then you guys can get his point of view as well. But you guys get that other class too, right?
I think we were just planning on counting last week's too.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so. Unless you think,
Yeah, sure.
And then maybe if like we're practicing this for like a month or something, and then we'll call and see if we can set up another one. But
Of
I think we're
course.
good for the two, just to count
Okay.
those as the two,
I
like
see what
last
you
week
mean.
and today.
Okay. Or what you can do is, take that free class, take today, but then like delay the other class, because I'm not sure what you guys got invoiced for, or, like whatever. But that's another option too. Like for example, like when we do like the in-person training, it's like 6 classes, 6 weeks. We get to like the 5th week, we're like, your dog's solid. Like, do you want to just do another overview, or did you want to like delay that and just like whenever you need something, do that class type thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think that'd work.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Do you want to take, like, when we walk him down to his car, do you want to take Poe and just, like, do one final walk with
Yeah,
him?
I guess we could walk you over the moon. I love it.
Is she pretty chill in the house, Poe?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
fine in the house. I don't know, after the training, we really haven't had, like, maintenance people or anything in the house much, or people who she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, she's
Especially with
fine
the
in the
pandemic
house.
and everything.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Heel.
Good.
That's a good spot too, because anybody who comes on, if they do,
Exactly.
they have to go like here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because-
And if she's too much trying to, oh my ears, sorry. If she's trying to like see what's going on, give her a tap and she's like, okay, fine, I'll let it go. Just let it go. Go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you for walking me out because I would not have known where I was going.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I remember one time I was walking here, when we were walking by the gym here, and some kids came flying out and pulled literally like,
Oh yeah.
so,
In that situation, if like right there and then I would have just done the turnaround and the tap. But then if she's, because it's like she broke heel, but then it's also like behavior because she got a lot of energy, So I would have tap and turn, and then turn again, and then see how she is with the kids. If it's too much for her, good, yeah, that's good. Then I would correct, turn the number higher, then do another correctional turn. Or just make myself stationary, switch her to the right side, and just like watch her, and then use my peripherals to watch these kids, make sure they don't approach her. And then if she's too much like into these kids because of the energy, tap, and then tap until you get that.
well looking back too, it was like my brother and his girlfriend were here, so she was like really excited for that. So she had a ton of energy in that situation. So she was like
Crazy.
very much amped up. So that's probably
Like,
should have
remember-
calmed her down right away.
Remember earlier I said like it could be a little thing, like maybe she usually doesn't do that,
Yeah.
but then she did it because of that build-up.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep that in mind. Like, I want this walk to be fine. So like, it's just the beginning. Like, how is she in the beginning? But like you said, like brother, family were over. She was happy. She was excited. Then you take her out. She's still excited. It hasn't been addressed. And then these kids come. She's like, oh, more kids. And she wants to go say hi. Or maybe she's like maybe she wanted to just no, I don't like these kids. I don't know what to do. And then she just lunges. But does that make sense? And then you also made sense of it too now, especially since But anything else?
No, that was
Thank
helpful.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you very
really
much.